Hey, I'm Little Boy Hope. This is my second channel where I make content for fun. I've been having a lot of fun with Yu-Gi-Oh recently, and I want to share with you some of my recent discoveries in card combos. If you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh videos, remember to like and subscribe down below. Today I'm going to show you a Mystic Mind burn deck profile. Not 100% sure if this deck exists anywhere else. This was a deck I lost to on Wigo Pro, stole it, and edited it myself to make it more my personal playstyle. Here's the deck profile. As you guys can see, I will explain to you what each card does as the game goes on. So this is game 1. I would kind of go through the cards as I play them and teach you what does what. I just set everything down. I activate the Pot of Duality because with Pot of Duality, what that helps with is just searching your deck, and what you really want to see first off is the spell card Mystic Mind and Field Barrier. Once you get those two, you kind of win the game. People can side against your deck as well. I got really lucky this game. This guy played more in inflicting burn deck. We both had kind of the same playstyle. I just had the better burn deck. But anyways, I activate Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality lets me search the top 3 cards in my deck, excavate it, and then I get to add one of them to my hand. Shuffle the rest back into the deck. I believe, something like that. And then also it has a drawback. I cannot special summon the turn I use this card, which is okay because in this deck, I don't need to special summon at all. I have like 6 or 9 normal summons, and so with this deck, you don't special summon at all, so that's fine. And so I search, and what do we find? I find Ojama Trio. I would want Field Barrier because I have Mystic Mine here. Because I don't have Field Barrier, I can't activate Mystic Mine, otherwise it just dies at the end phase because we both have the same amount of monsters. And so anyways, I grab the Ojama Trio because that lets me special summon 3 monsters to his side, and also it allows my cards to inflict damage to him as well. Also, it stalls out his board as well. So very smart, very creative. I just think it's funny because these cards are cards that I never thought would be useful. I always thought these were like the worst cards ever, and when this guy used it on me, I totally laughed. I was like totally laughing in his face. I was thinking, what is this guy thinking? No way I'm gonna lose to Mystic Mine. It's kind of placed out, and then he killed me in like 2-3 turns, and I was like, holy he actually stalled me out for 2-3 turns, and then he actually was able to kill me. Anyways, we go ahead and activate the Ojama Trio, special summoning 3 Ojamas onto their side. Amazing, amazing. Go ahead and Trap Trick. So now what Trap Trick does is it allows me to banish one normal trap card from my deck, and then set one normal trap card onto my field. Also, I can use it that same turn. Really OP card. I just recently found out about this card a little bit before this, and it's such a good card. Like, you could get Magical Cylinder, you could get Mirror Force. Of course, those cards aren't great anymore, but you could still search cards like Bottomless Trap Hole if you wanted to, and Torrential Tribute. Some cards which are a little bit more decent. Also, Ice Dragon Prison. And so I really like Trap Trick. It's like playing 6 copies of one card, or I guess you could say 5 copies of one card, and it's just really nice. I really like it because you get to search your deck for trap cards. That's all. And so anyways, I choose, because I have Ojama Trio. Ojama Trio works really well with Just Desserts. I choose Just Desserts, and what Just Desserts does is it inflicts damage 500 points to my enemies depending on like what they have on the field. This guy's running Cauldron of the Old Man. I really enjoyed that card as well. Really good card, but it takes a little bit of time to stack up. I play in my Exodia deck just for fun as another win condition in case I don't get to draw all 5 pieces of Exodia, along with Final Countdown in case I don't stall them long enough. Hopefully the Cauldron kills them if I don't draw Exodia, you know? But anyways, this is my pure burn deck, and so let's keep this going. Now this guy's got some monsters on the field. I can activate Mystic Mind now. If this was a competitive deck that was versing, most likely would have lost already, because I don't think I have like Demise of the Land or anything. If I had like Demise of the Land versus a competitive deck and drew into that, I would have lost. So maybe a little bit of work with consistency. This is my very first game playing this deck profile, so everything is still the same. Everything is still original at this point to the deck that I found, and then I haven't made any edits yet. And so this guy has this spell card out. I'm not sure what it's called, but every time I activate or set a card, I take 500 damage. Same for him. So that's kind of a huge cost, but I was willing to do it because I really want to test out this deck, and this deck seems really fun. Anyways, I draw into activate Card of Demise. What this does is he doesn't take any effect damage for the rest of the turn, which is actually very interesting. And I'll show you how I misplay in a bit here. Set a couple cards and then activate the Pot of Extravagance. Oh, actually, I don't. Okay, so I was having a little bit of struggle here because I activated this card first, and then I got the Pot of Extravagance, so it didn't work. And at first I didn't understand how it worked, but with Pot of Extravagance, what you have to do is it has to be the very first card you use on your turn, otherwise it doesn't work, because it says at the very start of your main phase 1. So make sure to remember that. Oh, this card is McChillian the Time Lord, something like that. What this card does, it has 0 attack, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, really strong. It could be, however, returned to hand. Also, because I attacked him, he targeted Magic Cylinder, and my attack came back to me. Therefore, his effect couldn't activate. But basically, what his effect does is, if this card battles, this turn, basically, at the end of the battle phase, half your opponent's life points, right? So like a free Solemn Judgment. Really, really strong, but not on yourself, on the enemy team. Onto the enemy opponent, and so that's really strong. I like his effect a lot, but the downside is by the next standby phase he does get shuffled back into your deck. Oh, there we go. That's the Secret Barrel. I really like that card. So Secret Barrel inflicts 200 damage for each card your opponent controls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in their hand 7, 8, 9, 10. So 2 times 10 is 2,000 damage. Really, really strong. Trap Trick. Let's see what we're gonna grab. Oh, another Secret Barrel. That's 4,000 damage right away. Love it. Oh my god. And I think here I realized it was game. And so next turn I think I just killed him. Next turn. Let's see what happens. So now it's my turn and I just kill him. Yep. This is Just Desserts. Just Desserts is the main combo you use with Ojama Trio. 1, 2, 3, 4. Luckily for him, he didn't read my card effects, didn't know that I was going to use Just Dessert. I had 2 of them on the field. And so this Time Lord should have gone back into the deck by standby phase. And then I used two Just Desserts into him. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2,000, 2,000, 4,000. And I dealt a lot of damage earlier as well. And so we just go for that burn OTK. Not OTK, that burn kill. Let's see what we do. We got a bunch of cards. We lay down this card to kind of stall them out. And then what do we do? Do I attack? Oh, I do attack. See that? Oh my god, 8,000 attack to 4,000, 8,000 life points to 4,000. That is absolutely insane. He's actually really good as well, because not only is his first effect good, he also lasts until your opponent's turn, and now you kind of stall them as well. Of course, they could affect Valor during your main phase to do that, or imperm maybe when he attacks. I'm not sure how infinite impermanence works exactly, but maybe infinite impermanence would work as well, or like a forbidden. I don't know which one the spell card is, but it's like a Forbidden Chalice or Forbidden Dress, something like that that increases the monster attack but negates effect. That would work on him as well to negate his effect. But this guy's really, really good. There's some other monsters that can just return him to the deck, return him to the hand, or he can't be destroyed by card effect or anything. So like Grand Mole could return him to the hand. Some other monster, whatever negates his effect, would kind of suck for him. But he's pretty good stalling in the fact that if they just attack directly or attack him, then they just lose half their life points. This guy's trying something funky. He's summoning. Okay, we activate Ojama Trio. 3 Ojamas, and I always place it here, just kind of out of, I guess, just kind of out of pattern. But I always try to avoid these 2 slots. That way, if I get my level 1 monster, I can relinquish Anima one of them, steal it, and probably attack him for game, or something like that. But I don't run relinquish Anima in this deck, so I shouldn't really be worried about my placing on monsters. This guy's like locked in for good. This guy's done for at this point. I think I have a Mystic Mine or something. I have like a... I have something. I'm not scared of him at this point. I know that for sure. Okay. Okay, I guess I don't have anything, but okay. I do have Trap Trick. I could get Metaverse. But I guess that this guy stalls for me, which is great. And then, oh my god, okay. Jesus Christ, that guy just dies, huh? I guess I didn't have like Mystic Mine or anything, so it is kind of a scary situation versus like stronger meta decks. They could have probably just broken this guy and probably attacked me directly, but this guy right here wasn't able to break my board. And what breaking a board means is basically just destroying your board so that you don't have to battle or anything, right? If they would have just done that, I would have lost. But anyways, this guy wasn't able to break my board, so he's not able to attack. If he attacks me, he gets his life points halved at the end of the battle phase, or at the end of the battle phase, yes. And so it just comes to my turn again. Chain 1, this guy's effect activates to go back to the deck. Chain 2, Just Desserts activate, and then I chain, I think, I'm not sure what this spell card is called, but I chain this spell card, and it's very strong, it's limited, and the higher you chain it, the stronger the effect is. So I think it's like chain 2 is like 400 or 800 damage. I think chain 3 is like 1200 damage. Chain 4 is like 1600 damage. Chain 5 is like 2000 damage. So you could chain it with all your trap cards and just deal a lot of damage in general. And then this Justice is actually insane because he messed up when he link summoned. So he's got 1, 2, 3 monsters here, and then 4, 5, 6 monsters here. So instead of like the max, generally back in the old days of gaming being like what I'm used to at least, GOAT format and everything, is only 5 monsters. He's got the max of 6 monsters. You can also do 7 monsters if you know how to link summon correctly. But anyways, I use Ojama Trio to prevent his 7 monster board. Anyways, so 6 monsters is about as much as we can get most of the time, majority of the time. And so that's 5, 1, 15, 2, 25, 3000 damage with just desserts. And that's for game. Wow, Jesus Christ, that was fun. A lot of times with this combo too is something I haven't told you guys, is a lot of times as soon as you get Mystic Mine on the field, not even Field Barrier, people will just like forfeit right away or scoop. And if it was real life, what they would probably do is side cards against it, like Galaxy Cyclone, Twin Twister, Harpy Feathers, which would be very effective. If I don't have Field Barrier, it just gets destroyed right away. Sometimes the way to destroy the card is to link summon and reduce their monster so they have 1 monster and you have 1 monster. Or if you could Dark Hole so you both have 0 monsters. At the end of the phase, Mystic Mine will destroy itself if Field Barrier is not on there as well. So those are a few of the ways that you guys can combat Mystic Mine if you guys are looking to. Just some random tips. So as soon as this guy special summons, I just want to make sure I read his effect. Nothing was going to happen, but I was scared that that was his only special summon. He was just going to attack me with his 3k beater. So I activate Demise of the Land. What this does, it lets me, whenever my opponent special summons a monster, I didn't know he had these 2 in the hand, because these 2 Summoner Monks will special summon. But I didn't know that he was going to special summon any more, so it's always best to play safest and sorry. But what Demise of the Land does is whenever my opponent special summons a monster, I can activate 1 field spell card directly from my deck, and then I choose Mystic Mine. Kind of a scary thing to do because I can't activate Field Barrier yet, but it's the safest play I got at this point. Unless I had like a Metaverse or something down here. So notice how I have Pot of Extravagance here, but because I use Field Barrier, I'm unable to use Pot of Extravagance, which is really weird. So I just end up setting it down like a fake trap card so that they destroy the target or something like that. But that's what I tried to go for anyways. I was really confused at this point because Pot of Extravagance I have to use at the start of the phase. I activated Field Barrier first so it doesn't work, which is really weird, but the card text reads that way. If you go Pot of Prosperity, it allows for a little bit more leeway, and that's actually what I'm playing right now. I believe this is only game 3. I had about like at least 40 of these games. I think 30 of these games, 30 people scooped, and the rest of the 10 games I just won. And I think actually, if I was to be correct, I think there was about 5 duels that I lost, and those were the duels that helped me edit this deck to be better and better, where they just had like Harpies and then wiped out Field Barrier. Next turn just link summon to match monsters with Mystic Mine and destroy Mystic Mine, and then I lost. So I did have a couple losses. I did have a few monster negates that where I didn't draw Mystic Mine, and I only had the Time Lord, and then they were able to negate the Time Lord and destroy him, and then I just kind of lost because of that. But overall, this deck is, I feel like, can be very, very consistent because of the probability of being able to draw Mystic Mine, normal summon it, tribute it to activate a field spell, or search a field spell. Search a field spell to your hand, which is really, really OP, and I believe that's called Pathfinder or something like that. And so you guys can search them if you guys want to use them as well, but it's in the deck profile in the beginning if you guys want to go back and check it out. Anyways, better safe than sorry. I think this game takes a little bit longer than most games. I just decided not to. I wanted to show you guys a lot of the games where they scooped, but I decided not to show too many of the games where they scooped. I only showed 1 game where they scooped, which is the next game. But the reason why I don't show a lot of them is because it doesn't say victory, so it's kind of like iffy. If you guys wouldn't know if I just like pressed exit or something like that, and so I just didn't show it. Because of that reason, it didn't say like victory, and so it didn't mesh that well with me, and so I didn't put it in. Oh, what do we get? Oh, okay. Let me show you guys what happened here. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you guys, because if you guys use this card, this is gonna happen to you guys. Card of Demise, really, really strong card, but at the same time, it's kind of like a Dark Ruler no more. Once you use this card, enemies don't take effect damage for the rest of the turn. I did not know that, and so let's see what happens. I activate Card of Demise. I draw cards until I have 3 cards. I activate Secret Barrel to inflict 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 1400 damage to him. Hopefully, that's what I was trying to go for. But it didn't work because the card of the demise, and so he didn't take any damage. So that was a card wasted on my turn. Then I set another card face down to avoid losing cards because card of demise also it has two downfalls. Your opponent doesn't take damage, and also you lose all the cards in your hand at the end of the turn, right? But it lets you draw 3 cards and use those 3 cards if you brick. And most of the time with this deck, that's pretty helpful. You can put all those cards down, and you usually always draw cards that are very useful. So not too bad to use that card of demise. It's kind of like Dark Rulers No More, but you only get to use one of it. Ojama Trio, baby, the Trio lockout. Woo, sexy. I love it. I mean, they could tribute that for a god card, and then I might be in trouble. But I think for the most part, we're pretty safe. People don't run god decks. Oh, Ring of Destruction. Yep. Okay. This is a funny misplay coming up. Guy tried to attack, I think, but he couldn't. Activate Metaverse at this time because basically we've been drawing for a couple rounds at this point. I don't want to stall out the game any longer than I have to. I always want to end the game as fast as I can in case they have like a mystical space typhoon, back row destruction, twin twister, galaxy cyclone, those kind of cards. And so I always want to end the game as fast as possible. And so the reason why I like this burn deck is because a lot of games you can end within 3 turns very consistently. And so that's why I like this deck compared to the other decks. The main reason I activate Metaverse here is to get Spellbinding Cave, also to just like not draw it because I don't want to draw it, and so I want to end the game fast as possible. Because I do that, I do shuffle into a Just Desserts, which is really good. That helps with the 2500 damage, huge, very huge. Oh, and I draw into a Secret Barrel as well, very nice. Secret Barrel does how much damage? Jesus Christ, so 200 damage. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2800 pretty much total, all these cards control and in hand. It seems like very little, and I always thought this card would be really bad. But I guess when you're playing like kind of like a stall out game like this, he's trying to save his resources, stuff like that, then cards kind of add up. If I wanted to, I could have waited longer for him to set 2 more cards, because he did have 2 cards. I didn't know what was in his hand. I don't know his capabilities. I'm very new to this game. Still, I just recently came back a couple months. And I don't know what everyone can do, and so I don't want him to just summon out like some sort of monster that I've never seen to somehow do something, or maybe to just destroy my back row and then OTK me, right? Because that's very possible. They could somehow destroy my entire back row and then Mystic Mine and somehow just OTK me, and so I want to avoid that situation as much as possible. It helps a lot when you're dueling online because you only get one duel against one person, so your effect is always going to work. However, in person, if you're versing someone, they have the ability to side against you, and that makes your game a little bit harder. But there are always cards like Prohibition and Scold Oracle to help you from avoiding those situations where you get sided against. I tried to Ring of Destruction end for game here. I tried to target this guy. I'm not completely sure why I couldn't target him. I wonder if it was one of these cards in the graveyards or if his own effect. I don't believe he had an effect where he couldn't be targeted. I read it. It didn't work, but it didn't work. I couldn't target him anyway. So I just... Thankfully, the Summoner Skull was there. I was able... I mean, the Summoner... whatever Summoner's Monk was there. So 800 damage. Not a lot, but... better than nothing. Then this card right here is very useful. Lilith, Lady of Lament. Very useful. So we just summon her, and because he has more monster than me, I can still use my monster effect, tribute her, and I get to search 1 card, and you guys already know what kind of card I search. Boom! Just Dessert, 2k damage, and that's it. That's game. Alright, last game of the video. There we go again. This is my normal summon. I don't have a monster, so I get to normal summon him. Pot of Duality. I think I searched Mystic Spell Mining Cave. I don't remember. And I also have these 2 really nice cards. I wonder I have Ojama Trio here. Oh my gosh. I have a Field Barrier as well, so really nice. Pretty much GG for him at this point. Really hard to get rid of this board. Now, Lightning Storm is actually a big problem for this deck. And so... what I learned from game 4 and a couple more games is like cards like Lightning Storm is really strong against this deck. Harpy's Feather is really strong against this deck, right? And so what I learned was I put in like 3 Solemn Judgment and 3 Dark Bribes, but I also learned that with 3 Solemn Judgment and 3 Dark Bribes, I had a lot of protection for Mystic Mine, but at the same time, what if I don't draw into Mystic Mine, right? I only had 8 chances to find Mystic Mine, so I added in 3 Pathfinders, and now I have 11 chances to find Mystic Mine. And so 11 chances, also Pot of Duality helps draw into Mystic Mine, and Pot of Prosperity, I can search 6 cards into my deck to find Mystic Mine, and so that just helps the deck become a lot more viable, a lot more consistent. So I just use these trap cards before they're destroyed. Oh, something really nice about, I think, Secret Blast as well. It only deals 300 damage for every card they control, but also if it gets destroyed by like a Mystic Mine, Twin Twister, Dust Tornado, they also get dealt 1000 damage as well, which is kind of like insane. It's kind of insane because if you have like 2 or 3 of these on the field and they like Harpy Feather it, that's 3000 damage plus every card they control, 300, 300, 300, right? So let's just say they control like 5 monsters or something, I don't know, and they Harpies it and you lose 3 of these, that's 3000 damage to them, plus 300 times 5 or 6, how many cards they control on the field. It's actually an insane amount of damage. I've gotten this to go off a couple times where they destroy the back row and then it just kind of like decimates them, or it just like kind of like destroys them completely. It's like super insane. It's like hidden OP. So Mystic Mine stays in the field because of Field Barrier, and he takes 1000 damage from the Secret Blast. I guess that's why it's called Secret Blast. This guy's playing the hero deck, which I'm extremely familiar with. He was very smart to only summon 1 monster. He could have gone into a full combo here, but he only summoned 1 monster, therefore Mystic Mine dies because it doesn't have Field Barrier. If Field Barrier was still on the board, it'd be totally fine. And then I just get a Heart of the Cards draw in the next turn here, and then he scoops. I guess it's not Heart of the Cards draw actually. I get Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality helps me search. I get 3 choices. I could have gone for a Metaverse or Time Lord to stall again. Metaverse to activate Spell Mining Cave, or no, Trap Trick. No, Trap Trick can't search Metaverse. If I was Metaverse, I could activate Metaverse for Spell Mining Cave, but Trap Trick cannot search Metaverse because Metaverse is limited. You can only play 1 copy. But anyways, I do get the Heart of the Cards into Pot of Duality into Demise of the land. And then this guy probably didn't see what I added to my hand or something like that, wasn't paying attention. Well, maybe he was paying attention because he did this move where it was like quick effect, tribute increase to summon, tribute Ferris to summon increase to summon Vion, to dump Malicious, and then boom. Now it's on his turn. He probably didn't know I had Demise of the Land, or probably wasn't paying attention, or probably just doesn't know what my deck does. But he probably could have just killed me if he would have just kept direct attacking me and without special summoning. But because he special summoned, didn't know what my cards did, Demise of the Land, and then boom, I get Mystic Mine back, and then he just instantly scooped after he saw I got Mystic Mine back on the field. Because he probably, for one, could not use Lightning Storm no more. He already had 3 monsters on the field. Probably doesn't have a Dark Hole. Probably doesn't have anything else to do that can help him break my board. And so a lot of players just understand that once Mystic Mine comes on the board, if you have like 3+ monsters on the board, you kind of just lose, right? And so, wow, that was a long video, 20 minutes. Wow, I'm sorry about that. I guess let's just pull it up right here. And so what I have here is the Time Lord. This guy is very strong for stalling out stuff. Pathfinder, this was the card I was talking about. It will help you search Mystic Mine. Pot of Prosperity will also help you search Mystic Mine. I only play 2 Field Barrier because I don't want to play 3 because I don't want to break or draw a bad card, right? Because I already have a lot of bad cards here that I could possibly break with, right? And so just don't want to break in a bad situation. I've got search cards. I've got search cards here, 1, 2, Mystic Mine as well, and then what is this? Oh, Lilith, Lady of the Lament. I use this as well, very strong for searching into a Just Desserts if that's what you need, or if you need a Secret Barrel if they have a lot of cards. Also, and if anything, you can always go for a Secret Blast, worst case scenario. You know, but this card is just really good for a lot of situations. And then Ojama Trio. This generally I search Ojama Trio into Just Desserts with this card. Really strong. Either I have Just Desserts and then Lilith into Ojama, or I have Ojama but then I don't have Just Desserts and then I Lilith into Just Desserts, and then I Ojama into Just Desserts, which is like super strong, like 2000 damage over 2500. That's a lot of damage. I have Solemn Judgment because I find that, you know, cards like Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather, Twin Twister, Galaxy Cyclone really destroys this deck. A field barrier and Mystic Mine are key, and so these are very important to protect it. All right. And so with that said, that's it. Thank you guys if you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, also, I was gonna run this into the deck because one of my buddies told me, one of the buddies I've been playing with recently, told me that Dragoon is good into any deck, right? And so just tech in Dragoon into any deck. These 3 cards, really good, right? And I did kind of think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I could negate. I could have the Dragoon and I could negate instead of Solemn and Dark Bribe. I could negate, right? And that's also one of the reasons why I only have 4 of these, because I was running a Dragoon previously. I never got to try it out though because I needed to make space for Pathfinder. So if Pathfinder doesn't work out for me, I'll probably try teching in Dragoon as well for fun. The one thing with Dragoon is he does kind of inflict with Mystic Mine. His effect does kind of like afflict with gets affected by Mystic Mine. Like if I destroy 2 of their monsters, I can't just direct attack unless they have another monster on the field, right? And so it does kind of mess up with Mystic Mine a little. But if I Ojama Trio correctly and play around Dragoon correctly, I could possibly destroy 2 of their monsters into Mystic Mine. The only issue would be if like they card Destruction, my Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Black Dragon, and then I can't Red Eyes Fusion into Dragoon, right? But it doesn't really matter anyways, and Dragoon does do inflicting damage, so it does still count as burn, which is kind of a fun playstyle. But it's just whatever you want, you know. You guys can play Cauldron, you guys can play Wave Motion Cannon, you guys can play like whatever you guys can think of to inflict damage. These are just the cards that I found that work for me and that have been really consistent for me. And over 50 plus duels on Wygo Pro, I've been able to beat Dogmatica, Invoked, and even Tri-Brigade and Drytron with this deck. And so this deck is actually really insane. Yeah, this is actually kind of insane. So if you want to try it out, make sure to try it out. If you like this video, make sure you like it. If you don't like it, make sure you dislike it and tell me why in the comments. And also leave a comment to help out the algorithm. I guess the question would be, if you're still here, the question would be, you know, what do you think about this deck? Tell me your thoughts. And then and just remember to subscribe, help out the channel, support the channel. Check out my main channel if you want to. It's a League of Legends channel. You don't have to.